Hello bots, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll talk about leaked information about Resident Evil 8, or also known as Resident Evil Village. What we'll talk about here are in-depth information about the playtest that was done for the game. But before we go into details, I'd like to let you know that these are just rumors and nothing is official as of this time. Again, what you're about to hear are nothing but rumors until we get official announcements from Capcom. And just in case these are true, beware that these are potential spoilers for Resident Evil Village. I found out about these rumors from the website Biohazard Declassified. And just to give you guys some background information about this site, they basically discuss everything about Resident Evil, and they've been talking about Resident Evil Village rumors for quite some time now. The thing is, they already shared a lot of information that were eventually confirmed, like the title, and even the enemy types like the witches and werewolves. You know what, speaking of beastmen, don't they look like beastmen from Bloodborne, right? Well, maybe that's just me. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is, their sources are reliable, which means there's a good chance that the leak is correct, or at least close to what we'll get when the final product is released. Now let's get to it. According to the source, the opening sequence is the same as what we were shown at the trailer. Remember that scene where Mia was reading a story to what appears to be a baby? Yeah, that's where everything starts, and then Ethan arrives. According to the source, the arrival of Ethan is where the playable sequence starts. The player is then given a chance to explore a bit and is presented with multiple documents to basically fill us in on the events between Resident Evil 7 up to the current game. The documents and notes scattered around the house are about Rose, which is Ethan and Mia's daughter, the E-Virus, also known as the Mold, and there are also hints that Ethan spent some time training with Chris after the events of Resident Evil 7. It was also shared that a ticking sound was heard by the source during their playtest, and that ticking sound has the same style as the bobbleheads from the previous installments. But you know, this could just be an Easter egg, or maybe it's a possible return of the bobbleheads that we can collect or destroy throughout the game. Alright, moving on. After exploring a little, Ethan will then take Rose from Mia so he can put the baby to bed. After that, Ethan and Mia will have a conversation in the kitchen. And at some point during their talk, windows would then shatter as bullets fly into the kitchen and some of them would hit Mia. The events here leads to this scene that was also shown on the trailer.
Chris? Sorry, Ethan. Why?
After the attack, the next series of events seems to still be in conceptual stages. But according to the source, after the attack on Ethan's home, Chris takes the baby and Ethan is loaded to a vehicle. And then at some point during their travel, the car crashes and it will eventually lead Ethan to the said village. The path to the village will start from the dark woods that was also seen on that trailer. The next events make up a great deal of footage from the trailer. It's also said that this is the most interactive part of the playtest. What we're talking about here is this scene, where Ethan enters a cabin and finds an old man hiding behind a curtain. He will then say that something is coming and then hands a pistol to Ethan. According to the source, as Ethan looks for ammunition, a huge arm smashes through the ceiling, pulling the old man through. And then after a few seconds, the floorboards underneath Ethan would shatter as another arm busts through the floor that would drag Ethan. That is the scene where the Beastmen are introduced, and it was said that at that point, the player can find a shotgun, which is possibly owned by the old man. The player would also find some pistol and some shotgun ammo lying around. You know how it is, the game is getting us geared up for a huge fight. What I find interesting here is the source says that there are multiple ways on how the sequence can be played. The player can choose to run away to conserve ammo, or just go guns blazing and fight back. But we all know the first option is what feels like the right thing to do, don't you agree? Anyway, the source also stated that the Beastmen deal massive damage, but they can be easily taken down with a well-placed headshot from the shotgun. Another interesting bit about this is that the enemies can attack with various weapons and tools, just like the Ganados from Resident Evil 4 and the Diabo from Resident Evil 6. They also form some kind of perimeter to surround and overwhelm the players. After that battle sequence, another enemy type is introduced. It's that hammer-wielding giant that these testers call the Gorilla Man. We haven't had a good look at this enemy yet, but I don't know, maybe he's as hairy as the Beastmen, which is why they called it the Gorilla Man. And if you ask me, he just looks like the Executioner dude from Resident Evil 4, right? Well, it's also said that the Gorilla Man have some sort of control over the Beast Man. So what happens next is that the Gorilla Man calls off the attack, and that gives Ethan a window to escape. He then meets an old woman dressed like a witch, and it is believed that she is the merchant-like character for this game. But I don't know about this one. This shady guy looks more like a merchant to me, don't you agree? Anyway, after you meet the old woman, the playtest will end with a cutscene that shows a group of villagers hiding in a building as one of them turns into a beast man. Pretty standard horror stuff, right? Well, this next bit from the article is what really got me thinking and hyped about this game. They predicted two possible ways on how the story plays out. What they're trying to say here is, if the leaked information were all true, it would either mean that the villagers can get infected with this new kind of bioweapon that turns the villagers into beastmen, or it could be credited to the rumors about hallucinations. Which, if you remember, is one of the things that happens to someone that's infected by the mold. And if that is the case, it's much worse because it could mean that Ethan is attacking people that are not even infected in the first place. And these poor villagers were just trying to defend themselves. It will also add evidence to prove that Ethan got infected with the mold way back in Resident Evil 7. But maybe I'm just overthinking this right now. We can only speculate at this point. So that's it for this video, bots. What do you think about the leaked information? Does this add to the hype? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment down below. If you like video game content like this, be sure to leave a like, and now's also a great time to subscribe and hit that notification bell to help grow the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.